Questions and comments. Questions and comments. Question commentaire. The honour for Ward Kells. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wonder if the honourable member could talk to the innovation in the petrochemical industry, because it occurs that really the most difficult output of fossil fuels is when you burn them for fuel. But other things can be done with the things that we dig up out of the ground. And I'm wondering if he has heard from the industry the sort of things that could be done that would certainly make for a very, very bright future for the petrochemical industry when we at least rely a lot less on burning it for energy.
The honourable member for Provencher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to that member for the question. I don't know what else we would do with fossil fuel energy other than burn it. And so what else would you use it for? I mean, I don't know. I suppose you make plastics and rubber out of it. That would be certainly useful. That seems to be working. But there's a plastics ban. And I said this in committee, and I've said it before. You know, when I go to McDonald's and I try and or Burger King and try and slip up their super thick strawberry milkshakes, you know what happens to those paper straws? They collapse. Frustrates me to no end. But listen, in answer to that member's question, and that is true, by the way, and I do find that frustrating. But the member raises a good point, because he again allows me to indicate that Canada's oil and gas industry is the biggest contributor, the biggest researcher and developer of renewable energy. They've proven that. They've shown that. They're looking for to green things up as much as they can as well, and to be environmentally responsible.
In comments, question commentaire, l'honorable.
Questions and comments. The honourable member for Rivière-des-Mille-Îles. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask my colleague, there's one aspect he didn't emphasize much, which was economic growth in a net zero emissions economy. It's part of the bill. It's an essential aspect. How would a Conservative government be able to do this given the love the Conservatives have for oil? Is it possible? Is it thinkable? Is it realistic to talk about an economy that would eventually be in net zero emissions? The honourable member for Provencher.
Thank you, member, for that question. You know, like I answered to the previous member's question, the oil and gas industry is doing lots of research and development into transitioning to other less CO contributing energy sources. And I think when you allow something to naturally transform, when the economies actually make sense of producing energy in an alternative method, it's going to happen. It shouldn't require government influence, as this bill is going to require billions of dollars of federal taxpayer dollars in order to make it successful. And we're going to have to subsidize this, what they call sustainable jobs. And it really is what they called it initially. It's a transition bill at best.
In comments, question commentaire, the honourable member for Nunavut.
A study by Calgary Economic Development estimates that Alberta could see $61 billion pumped into their economy through clean technology investments. And I wonder if the member agrees that transitioning to sustainable energy is a way to go, so that Calgary, provinces like Calgary could continue to see their economy grow.
The honourable member for Provencher.
Thank you, and I think the oil and gas industry in Alberta, if she's concerned about job growth and the economy growing in Calgary, the oil and gas industry in Alberta has proven that they're excellent corporate citizens. They are the best thing that ever happened to the Alberta economy. And for this government to want to willfully shut that industry down, displace 450,000 workers, put 2.7 million people at risk, I think that's not very prudent at all.
In comments, question commentaire, the honourable member for Sandwich Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my friend from Provencher. This bill should have been called, to be clear, I agree with him on that one point, this bill should have been called the Just Transition Act. This government and governments around the world, and largely due to the work of Canadian trade unions that were in Paris at COP21, worked hard to ensure that climate action would not compromise the jobs of workers in the fossil fuel sector. They would receive help and support. As a maritimer, I lived through what got called, oh my goodness, the TAGS program, the ground fish strategy, where they told workers who just lost all the work from the cod fishery, trade the fish net for the internet. Ridiculous notions. We need to support the workers and communities that are going to be impacted by the climate crisis and by actions to address it. This bill is trying to talk out of both sides of its mouth while accomplishing nothing.
The honourable member for Provencher, pretty quick.
I'll make it really quick. I want to thank the member from Saanich Gulf Islands for that comment, and I want to reiterate what she has said. This bill accomplishes absolutely nothing while they're talking out of both sides of their mouths. Thank you.